Rich teens harassed a woman in a wheelchair and hurt her dog until a Navy SEAL intervened. The trouble started on a quiet Saturday morning outside a lakeside cafe. Mia, a woman in a wheelchair, waited patiently with her service dog, Rusty. She was calm, gentle, someone who stayed in her own world. But the group of rich teens who stepped out of a black SUV thought the whole street belonged to them. One of them pointed at her wheelchair and laughed. "Move out of the way," he said, "blown gum. We need a picture here." Mia tried to maneuver aside, keeping Rusty close, but the sidewalk was narrow. Another teen shoved her wheel slightly. "Didn't you hear him? Move faster." Rusty barked, protective, scared, and it made one boy snap. He kicked Rusty hard in the ribs. Mia gasped. "Stop, don't touch him." The teens laughed louder. "It's just a dog," one said. "Yeah, and she can't even get up to stop us," another smirked. For a second Mia froze. Not from fear, from the same pain she felt every time someone thought her wheelchair made her weak. But before she could speak again, a quiet voice cut in behind them. "Touch her dog again," the man said, "and we'll break every rule I have to." The teens turned. A tall man in a plain grey t-shirt stood there, hands behind his back like he was just waiting. His eyes didn't move, his breathing didn't change, but every instinct told the teens to step back. "Who are you?" one of them said, trying to sound brave. The man didn't answer. He just took a slow step toward them, controlled, steady, the kind of movement that made the world shrink around him. Rusty limped over and nudged his leg, like he already knew him. Mia whispered, relieved, "Nathan." He nodded once. Nathan Hayes, her neighbor, her quiet, polite neighbor who never talked about his job. One teen scoffed. "Oh please, what's he gonna do? Call the cops?" Nathan's jaw flexed. "No, I trained them." The leader snorted. "Whatever, dude." Nathan took another step. "You boys know what a 214 form is." They blinked. "No." Nathan smiled. "Cold. Good. You don't want your names on one." The boys were confused until Mia spoke softly. "He's a Navy SEAL." The rich teens went pale. One stepped back so fast he tripped on the curb. Their fake confidence cracked instantly. Nathan crouched beside Rusty, checking his ribs gently. "He's hurting. That means we're going to settle this properly." The leader panicked. "Look, man, okay, fine, we're sorry." She was blocking the sidewalk. Nathan's head snapped up. "Say that again." The boy stammered. "We're sorry." "No," Nathan said. "The other part. She was blocking the sidewalk." Nathan stood, towering over them. "You kicked a dog. You shoved a woman in a wheelchair. You think money makes you big. But right now, you're standing in front of someone who has pulled his teammates out of burning buildings and fought men twice your size without blinking." He stepped closer. "And you think this is where I draw the line?" At a bully and his daddy's credit card. The teens were frozen silent now. Nathan pulled out his phone. "Your faces were recorded the whole time. Mia has federal disability protections. Service dog laws. Witnesses. CCTV. The leader shook. "Please, don't press charges." Nathan lowered his phone. "I'm not pressing anything." For 2 seconds they looked relieved. "She is." Mia blinked. "Me." Nathan nodded. "You deserve justice. And they deserve the consequences." The leader almost cried. "Come on, man, that'll ruin college for us." Nathan shrugged. Should have thought about that before hurting someone who couldn't stand. But then Mia did something none of them expected. She touched Nathan's arm. "Wait." He turned. "You don't have to forgive them." "I'm not forgiving," she said. "I'm teaching." She motioned for the boys to come closer, slowly, like they were approaching a strict teacher. All 4 of them knelt awkwardly beside her wheelchair. "Look at Rusty," she said. "Look what fear does." The boys stared at the dog, trembling but still loyal, still protective. "You kicked him," Mia continued softly, "because you thought I couldn't fight back. But what you don't understand is that strength doesn't always shout." Nathan watched her, amazed. He had seen bravery overseas. He was watching it again now. The leader swallowed. "We're sorry. Really. We didn't know." Mia nodded. "You didn't care to know." The boys lowered their eyes. Nathan checked Rusty again. "You'll need a vet." The teens immediately offered to pay. Mia refused. "No," she said. "You're going to take responsibility, not buy your way out." They nodded quickly. Later that afternoon, the whole cafe knew what happened. The parents arrived, furious, apologizing, and they agreed to the consequences Mia requested. They would cover Rusty's treatment. They would volunteer at the rehab center where Mia trained. And they would attend mandatory disability respect classes. Not because she wanted revenge, but because she wanted them to grow up better than they were. As the crowd cleared, Nathan stood beside Mia's wheelchair. "You handled it better than I ever could," he said. Mia smiled softly. "You showed up when I needed someone." He shook his head. "You never needed me. You just needed someone to remind them who they really were." Rusty nudged Nathan's hand gratefully. "And besides," Nathan added with a small grin, "if they ever try anything again." He leaned down, whispering, "I'm still a SEAL." Mia laughed, really laughed, for the first time in weeks. The sun set over the lake, painting the sky gold as the bullies cleaned up the cafe patio under the manager's strict eyes. Justice didn't always roar. Sometimes, it rolled in quietly, on wheels. And sometimes, here is a short, punchy version of the story, perfect for a video intro or quick narration. Short story version. A quiet afternoon at the park turned ugly when a group of rich, spoiled teens spotted a woman in a wheelchair walking her small dog. They laughed at her, blocked her path, and one of them shoved her chair hard enough to tip it sideways. Her dog barked in fear, and one teen even kicked at it, sending it yelping. People around watched, but no one stepped in. No one, until a man in a grey hoodie slowly stood up from a nearby bench. He walked toward them calmly, hands in his pockets. The teens smirked, thinking he was just another adult they could intimidate. But the moment he reached them, his posture changed, straight, controlled, powerful. "Step away from her," he said quietly. "Or what?" One teen mocked. The man lifted his wallet. Inside was a badge. Navy SEAL, active duty. The teens' faces drained of color instantly. Within seconds, he had their names, their parents' numbers, and the mall security escorting them away. He helped the woman back into her chair, checked her dog, and stayed with her until paramedics arrived. The teens thought they picked an easy target. They had no idea they were about to be corrected by a man trained to protect.